I'm on the Del Mar College East Campus in front of the Memorial Classroom building. With all the new construction underway in the college, it should be noted that this facility is the oldest building on campus. Classrooms, offices, language labs, and math labs are held here. This is a very recognizable landmark at Del Mar now. I'm Amy Mintz, an Associate Professor of Child Development Early Childhood at Del Mar College. Today we'll meet the Assistant Professor and Program Director of Addiction Studies. Dr. Ruben Garcia will explain this program in great detail. Richard Roop is also here. He's a professor of mathematics and also the newest recipient of the Dr. Aileen Creighton Award for Teaching Excellence. As always, students in the radio and television program will present a Del Mar Now update. We've got some great information to share with you. Don't go away. This is Del Mar Now. Our first guest is an assistant professor and program director of addiction studies. He's been at Del Mar College for over 20 years. He earned his associate's degree from Del Mar College, his bachelor's and master's degree from Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, and his PhD from Capella University. Please welcome to Del Mar Now, Dr. Ruben G. Garcia. Hi, Dr. Garcia. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, Amy, thank you for inviting me. It's good to be here. I'm excited.
Okay, so as mentioned, you are in the Addiction Studies program,
Yes.
and that is quite a title.
Yes.
Maybe scary or interesting for some.
Yes.
Can you tell us about this program?
Can be. You know, it's interesting because originally when I graduated back in '82, it was called the Mental Health Program.
Okay.
So somewhere between 1982 and the mid-90s, the Mental Health Program transitioned into the Human Services Program. So it wasn't until 2000 that the state said that if anybody wants to counsel people who have drug and alcohol problems.
That particular sector.
That particular sector, yes. They have to be licensed.
Okay.
So then Del Mar went from the Human Services program to the Addiction Studies program.
Okay.
And that was in the year 2000. So before they were licensed, they had to be certified. And so Del Mar offered those classes for those people who wanted to be certified as drug and alcohol counselors. And that was through the non-educational program.
Okay.
And so I was teaching that. Then I went into adjunct, the Human Services, jumped into the Addiction Studies program.
Okay, so when you're mentioning addiction studies, are these individuals, the careers that they would go into with this sort of certification, mental health facilities, outpatient services?
Well, you know, mostly if they are wanting to become drug and alcohol counselors, then it's going to be strictly into a treatment facility, either inpatient or outpatient program. Now, the interesting thing is, though, a lot of these students, they go off and get into psychology or social work, because in this field there's just so many areas that you can just kind of venture into.
Okay.
So substance abuse, it's a specialty, but you can also branch off from that and do other things as well in the human services field.
Now, is this strictly an associate degree plan, or is there a certificate option? You mentioned the word certificate earlier.
Right.
What's the difference?
For the addiction studies, it is strictly a degree plan.
Okay.
We do have a program called the Generalist Studies, and that is either a degree plan or you can obtain your certificate with that. Okay.
And you know, students that are coming into this, we were talking earlier about, you know, some of these students may have lived in this field, or this real life experiences that have kind of drawn them into this sector. And do you feel those individuals, that gives them those, maybe the skill sets or the know-how or the experience or the basis to be a good counselor?
You know, that's a good question, Amy. They may have an advantage because of their personal experience, but in the counseling field, studies and research has shown that it's not so much the the letters that I have at the end of my name or the personal experience that I have. Yes, it may give me an advantage, but what it really matters is the relationship that I'm able to have with my client. Studies have shown that the better the relationship I have with my client, the better the client will be able to accomplish their goals and be successful in their life.
That makes sense. And so some of the courses that they would be taking in this program is, I'm assuming, are going to be about these relationships and professional boundaries and things like that. So can you tell us what students would expect in this program?
Sure. In the program, they're expected to obviously learn about drugs and alcohol. They're going to learn how to do group, because we have a group class. And in that class, I'm going to teach them how to do groups, so they're going to run a group. There's also theories class and addicted family, where they can learn also about families and addiction. Number of things that will help them get a better foundation, so when they get into the field, they'll be better prepared and equipped.
Right. And before they get into the field, though, I'm assuming there's some sort of practicum or internship experiences that they need to have outside of the classroom that you were talking about earlier. So can you tell us about that?
Sure. The state requires, the state of Texas requires that students need to have, before they get their associate's degree, they got to have 300 hours of practicum experience.
It's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. So we have agencies and program within the community that helps us to supervise our students. I think we have like maybe 7 programs and
great community resources.
Yes, so they're all on board, and they're all treatment facilities, because they have to be in a treatment facility supervised by a licensed counselor specializing in drug and alcohol abuse. So it's specific facilities, not just any program.
Well, that makes sense, because that's the specific sector they're going into.
Exactly.
Do you find sometimes this real practical experience in the clinical setting puts them on a different pathway, or solidifies their choice? This is what I want to go into. One
or two things happen that I've noticed is, one is the student will say, you know what, this isn't for me. I thought it was, it sounded good, and I thought it was something that I was called to do, but you know what, it's not.
Right.
And then there are others that, yes, this is it. This is it.
Passion. Yeah.
I found my passion, and I'm ready to kind of take it all the way.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like an exciting program. Where can people get more information about this program?
Sure. They can call the Human Services Department at the West Campus, or they can call me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for chatting and sharing this great information.
Sure. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me.
We're taking a quick break, but students in the radio and television program are next with a Del Mar Now update. After that, we'll meet the newest recipient of the prestigious Dr. Aileen Creighton Award for Teaching Excellence. Stay with us.
Catch the Viking spirit. Nationally recognized and locally focused, Del Mar College has been delivering dreams for over 75 years. If Del Mar College has touched your life, join the Vikings Alumni Association and help others achieve their dreams. Stay connected. Support scholarships. Explore the Viking Career Network. Join online today at delmar.edu/alumni for as little as $10 and get a free t-shirt. Show your Viking pride.
Vikings are tough. They don't back down from a challenge. That's why at Del Mar College, they've been our symbol of discovery and perseverance since 1935. Today, that Viking spirit thrives more than ever as we develop the next generation of innovators, problem solvers, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Because to go from just getting by to finally getting ahead, it takes a Viking. Del Mar College, dreams delivered.
Welcome to this edition of Del Mar Now Update. I'm Priscilla Witten.
And I'm Brittany Claremont.
The president of Del Mar College, in a video message, has provided details as to how students affected by Hurricane Harvey have been helped. Dr. Mark Escamilla reported that students who were pre-approved for scholarships had their awards automatically maximized to $2,000. He noted that the Del Mar College Foundation had secured more than $100,000 in special funds for students' needs. More than 100 students have received another $80,000 in Hurricane Harvey assistance and recovery grants. Escamilla said that Del Mar Building Maintenance Program students and faculty were repairing hurricane-damaged household appliances at no charge. The president also pointed out that additional 8-week classes were added to give more opportunity to students to continue their studies. The Del Mar College Foundation has funds available in the Hurricane Harvey Student Emergency Assistance Fund. Del Mar College students have received information about the funds. Students may apply up to $500 in relief funds. The funds are grants and do not have to be repaid. Students can apply through the DMC Foundation. The internet link is www.delmar.edu/workarea/downloadassist. The foundation is continuing to take donations to the Hurricane Harvey Emergency Assistance Fund. All contributions are charitable and tax deductible. The foundation notes that all funds to assist faculty and staff have been expanded. Should additional monies arrive for faculty and staff, the foundation will begin funding these grants again.
A new articulation agreement has gone in effect between Del Mar College and Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. The agreement allows Biology 1404 and Biology 1415 to count towards a bachelor's degree. The courses count towards a biotechnology degree. Previously, the courses counted only as core science requirements for a liberal arts degree. The two courses are not like traditional biology courses. The courses delve into biotechnology and cutting-edge laboratory research. The agreement is particularly good news to Daniel Nasser Azadani, who is currently attending both institutions. Azadani made headlines earlier in the year as team member that discovered a beneficial virus. The student researcher is presently authoring a paper on the discovery, which will be submitted to scientific journals for possible publications. Human trafficking is a concern around the world. Officials estimate more than 20 million people are trapped in the epidemic. Del Mar College is helping to educate trucking students about human trafficking. Since 2009, the college has been educating transportation training students using the Truckers Against Trafficking initiative, known as TAT. Del Mar College is ahead of the curve with the training. A new Texas law went into effect September 1st, requiring training for truck drivers to recognize signs of human trafficking. Applicants for a commercial driver's license receive information how to identify human trafficking and how to report it. More than 400,000 professional drivers are TAT certified. Del Mar's Transportation Training Services program provides wallet cards and window stickers with information about the initiative.
An Oklahoma poetry legend was on the campus of Del Mar College. Dorothy Alexander read from her collection of works November 1st at the White Library. Alexander gave 2 readings from her works at the free events. Del Mar College Professor of Learning Resources Alan Bareka says Alexander has packed 3 lifetimes in her 80-plus years. The poet grew up as an Oklahoma dirt farmer's daughter and went on to a career as a lawyer and later a judge. Alexander was also a member of the first storm-chasing team at the University of Oklahoma. The poet has created 6 collections of her own poetry since 2002. Her latest book is titled Leaving My Father's House.
The National Geographic Society has promoted geographic literacy in schools for 30 years. The Society sponsors an annual Geography Awareness Week, which is scheduled for November 13th to the 17th this year. The annual Geographic Information Systems Day of the Coastal Bend will be held at Del Mar College's Center for Economic Development, Wednesday, November 15th. The event will feature 2 tracks, one for students and educators and another for professionals. The public is invited to participate in either track to learn more about how GIS and unmanned aircraft systems technology impacts the community. The 2017 event is co-sponsored by the area's higher education institutions. There will be information booths, seminars, and presentations. For more information, contact GISC instructor John Nelson at Del Mar College. He can be reached at 361-698-1478 or jnelson1@delmar.edu.
That's this edition of Del Mar Now Update. I'm Priscilla Witten.
And I'm Brittany Claremont. Stay tuned for more Del Mar Now.
What does it take to join a leading workforce training center, helping new industry meet new demand, where higher education is affordable, no matter the situation? What does it take to go from, how can I afford this, to how can I afford not to? It takes a Viking. Del Mar College. Dreams delivered.
If I can reach the stars, pull one down for you, shining on my heart, so you could see the truth. I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby. If I could change the world, baby. If I could change the world.
Make a difference. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
For more information about Del Mar Now, log on to www.delmar.edu/now. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions to help us improve Del Mar Now, send an email to now@delmar.edu.
Our next guest is the 16th recipient of the Del Mar College's Dr. Aileen Creighton Award for Teaching Excellence. He is a professor of mathematics and has been at Del Mar College since 1997. He earned his bachelor's degree from St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, and his master's degree from the University of Tennessee. Please welcome Richard Roop. Hi, nice to see you today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, congratulations firstly on this award. That's quite amazing.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
What does it mean to be selected with this prestigious honor? How do you feel?
The Aileen Creighton Award is extremely momentous to me because it is the college's highest honor, and more importantly, it's specifically for teaching. And I view our primary mission at the college to be teaching, so it's validation of what I do every day. It's very humbling, but at the same time, it's appreciated. It's very nice. It motivates you.
Well, and I love that you're a professor of mathematics, and because when usually people say I teach math, you probably get the the grimace face, or
That's okay. We call that job security. So.
But it shows you that your quality of teaching, your philosophy of teaching, even extends beyond maybe some negative attitudes associated with the subject matter, and so that's quite impressive. And again, hats off to you on that. Well, what is your teaching philosophy? How do you get them to adhere to and love this so much?
My teaching philosophy is many faceted. The first thing I believe is that I believe we learn more by doing than by watching. So I immediately try and get my students up out of their seats. On the first day of class, we have to do a lot of work with the syllabus and so on, and tell them how class is going to work. And I tell them, I hope they enjoyed sitting, because this is probably the most you'll ever sit in the entire class. After that, I try to get them to the board working problems as soon as possible. They become nervous about that because they're always worried that the whole point of sending them to the board is just to embarrass or frustrate them. So I try to emphasize them the second aspect of my teaching philosophy, which is I strongly believe you learn more by failing than actually by having immediate success. And the easiest analogy I can give for you on that is, if you've ever had a car accident, you can probably recite off many of the details about it. But if I asked you, tell me about your drive 3 weeks ago on Tuesday, most people are like, what do you mean? It wasn't momentous, nothing happened. So I tell them it's okay. I empower them to make mistakes, make lots of mistakes, make huge mistakes. I make mistakes all of the time, but reflect on your mistakes and try and figure out what happened. Why did it occur, so that you can amend, you can correct, and next time, even if you're not sure what to do, you at least know what not to do in the process. The third thing is I believe that teaching and learning happen best when they're in a shared environment. So I encourage my students to work with each other. It's not a competition. I emphasize over and over, there's no competition in my class. Every single student can earn an A. Every single student can earn an F. We prefer that not to happen, but they're there to pass a certain standard. So if you can make it there by yourself, great, but if you can make it there and bring 2 or 3 of your colleagues with you, you also be amazed that you learn your subject material so much more when you try and explain it to someone else than if you just try and do it yourself. So I basically, in a nutshell, I make them get up, I make them work a lot, I don't allow them to sit in their comfort zone, I make them adapt to a new comfort zone where they realize everybody's in the same boat and they can all work together. And that helps build camaraderie and defeat some of the negativist attitudes.
Did you have someone kind of implement this same teaching strategy with you, and is that how it impacted you? Or what's probably your most memorable teaching moment as a teacher or as a student?
Okay. As a teacher, it's hard for me to say a particularly most memorable moment, because like you had said earlier, it's been 21 years here and it was 4 years at the University of Tennessee. Before that, that's lots and lots of years to try and catalog one moment. I tend to think of a event that happens in class as the thing that drives me the most and is most motivational. And that is, like you said, a lot of students sometimes start with a negative attitude, some more so than others. But if nothing else, all students start with a certain degree of ignorance to the material, and people view that word negatively. It just means non-knowledge. And as a result, frustration is there because they want to do it, they want to be successful, they're just not sure how. And sometimes that has them run up against a brick wall, and depending on how many times in a row that happens, it can build and build and build. But I try to get them working on it so at some point, whether it's a problem they do themselves the 19th time or it's an experience at the board, suddenly it clicks. And it's something I like to call the aha moment, when they just go, aha. And once they understand, the amazing thing that happens in math is because it's so comprehensive and so interrelated, once one area completely makes sense, it usually turns the light bulb on for so many other areas. And you just see this look on their face where they're like, I get it. And the scary part of it is once they figure out they get it, they suddenly then can't understand how they didn't always get it, which can be a little, I don't want to say frustrating, but they feel a little defeatist, that they're like, really, it was only that easy? But no, that's good. Everything's easier in hindsight. But once they get that moment, it's magical. Suddenly they're intensely more willing to work on other other material, other classes. They want to work with other people. They want to share this epiphany that they've had, and it becomes contagious. And one person understands, then it's two, then it's the group, and then it spreads around. And suddenly, within a week or so, you've got a totally different class than you had.
Right.
And once they get that, it not only makes them feel more motivated towards that subject, but they can be more motivated towards a number of other things. I had one student who was in a college algebra class. They were an accounting major. They had no interest. This was something they had to do.
Right.
By the time the class ended, they debated maybe math wasn't as bad, and they're actually an adjunct for us at the college now. They've gone on,
You
gotten
ignited
graduate
that
degrees.
passion right there. That was deep inside.
That's what I live for. That's what I love doing.
Well, congratulations again on this award. And you know, you've got students, I'm sure, who know how well you teach, but your prospective students that are yet to still come.
Okay.
What's one thing you want them to know about you?
Don't look for an easy class. You won't learn much from an easy class. I will do everything I can to help them, but they have to do the work. No one can do the work but themselves. So if you want to take my class, I'm thrilled to have you come take my class, but you have to be willing to work. And if you'll put in the work and you'll put in the time, I'll do whatever I can to help. But I can only go so far, and then it's on their shoulders. And that personal responsibility is the biggest thing I want to emphasize to prospective students.
Well, good advice. Thank you again for being here, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
If you have questions or comments about Del Mar Now, please send an email to now@delmar.edu. Next month, we'll have a special treat as Chef Israel Villanueva from our Culinary Arts program cooks something for us. Don't want to miss it. Until then, I'm Amy Mintz for Del Mar Now. Thanks for watching.